Conor McGregor is probably done with fighting. My thoughts on this come after McGregor's most recent loss to Max Holloway at UFC 329. We kind of just broke his leg from the first exchange, threw a jumping switch kick, and just, it was over from there. The fight didn't even get started. Max made an easy $3 million. Conor McGregor made an easy $30 million. No one's really losing there apart from the fans. We didn't get a fight. We got a sick build-up.
I said, baby, you're gonna be the one that saves me.
It was legendary. The walkout was insane. This is how the cookie crumbles sometimes. When a 37, nearly 38-year-old tried to come back and fight off of drugs, alcohol, and injury. We're going to break down Conor McGregor's career today, like you've seen me do with Justin Gaethje. Let's get into it. Taking a look at McGregor's topology, his record currently sits at 22-7. Two of those losses basically coming from freak injuries. His last fight with Dustin Poirier and his most recent fight with Max Holloway. It sucks, man. It was his other leg this time too. As much as McGregor is not the greatest person outside of fighting, he's still just an inspiration. He's the reason why most of us know what the sport even is, including me. Sucks to see him go out like that. I do love Max Holloway, you guys know that, and I'm glad Max won, but I wish he won in a more definitive way, which kind of earned him a title shot. I just engaged, but sucks. We're gonna probably see Max versus Arman or Max versus Paddy. Max versus Paddy would be a sick fight, honestly. It just sucks, man. I wish there was a more definitive ending to the fight. UFC 329 as a whole, the card was fantastic. It was great. So many banger fights. They almost all delivered, apart from the main event, man. It sucks, man. It was going to be a generational pay-per-view. It was a generational numbered card still, but it sucks that the freak injury. As I mentioned before, McGregor is literally 38 years old. Probably by the time this video comes out, maybe I'll drop it on July 13th, not 14th, but he'll be 38 soon. And if the injury is correct, if it's an ACL injury, he'll be out for a year or so. He'll come back at like 39 years old. That's just not ideal for an MMA fighter. The older he gets, the even less able he'll be to fight, especially with those legs, man. He's on a current streak of 3 losses in MMA. Those 3 losses are to Max Holloway, Dustin Poirier, and then Dustin Poirier again. The second Dustin Poirier fight, Dustin won it fair and square, and I think he was kind of taken over in the McGregor 3 fight. Crazy ankle break. The whole McGregor Forever documentary came out. It's taken him 5 years to get to this point. 5 years and a day, man. The last fight against Dustin Poirier was July 10th, 2021. Now it's July 2026. Came back to fight Max Holloway. Incredible build-up, man. The whole thing was just great. Kind of unbelievable that he'd be back. Yeah, going back to the start of McGregor's career in the UFC, he starts it with a win over Marcus Brimage, which he gets a Performance of the Night bonus for on UFC on Fuel TV 9. Where he beats the guy in round 1 in 1 minute and 7 seconds. Crazy knockout. He's doing those uppercuts. I forgot the name for him. We're kind of like swinging them back, which is like a ploy to get your opponent to attack you because they know you're about to attack. He used it to his advantage. Completely destroyed Marcus Brimage. This is coming off of two title wins in Cage Warriors. He became the first simultaneous double champ in Cage Warriors. He did the same thing in the UFC, which we'll get to in a minute. After he fights Marcus Brimage, he fights Max Holloway for the first time. Basically destroys him 30-27. Obviously, that's not how the fight would have played out today. If they had a real fight, Max would probably have finished him in the 2nd or 3rd round. I mean, that's a 7-2 Holloway. That's a 13-2 McGregor. Max Holloway, after that fight, went on a complete tail, became the champion, defended multiple times. Did great things in the sport. To the point where he built himself to fight McGregor in McGregor's return. So, that's cool. I love Max Holloway. He's my GOAT. Hope he comes back sooner rather than later. He's been not injured 2 fights back to back. It's going to be like 6 months or so before we get to see him fight again. He will end up being 35 by the time he comes back. And he wants a McGregor fight. I don't think it's likely he does get it. I think he'll probably have to fight a contender at lightweight. We'll see what the UFC do, man. They're a crazy company. We're probably going to get Paddy versus Ilya. They say they're going to Spain. There's a massive English population in Spain. People from England. People love Paddy. People love Ilya. That place would go insane. Do it in a stadium. The vibes would be so good. Dana doesn't like stadiums. Winds me up. Conor then goes to beat Diego Brandao by punches. I'm pretty sure this is in Dublin, Ireland. I cannot remember though. I think it was, right? And the whole crowd went crazy for him when he did. Dude was on a tear in his early UFC career, man. After the Diego Brandao fight, he fights Dustin Poirier. Another win that aged great. A 16-3 Dustin Poirier. The massive beef here between McGregor and Poirier spanned all the way to the 2nd and 3rd fights, even though they're kind of friendly in the 2nd fight. Yeah, Dustin Poirier ends up getting knocked out in the 1st round by McGregor. Because I think Poirier just fought too emotionally in that fight. If he used his brain a bit, he might have been able to beat McGregor, but he gets in people's heads and just breaks you down before the fight even happens. So I'm not surprised McGregor won that fight. Then we go to Boston in 2015, January 18th. He fights Dennis Siver, however you say it. in Boston. He's kind of an older opponent. I think he was around 36 at the time they fought. But I'm pretty sure he's a veteran. He beats Dennis Siver in round 2 with ground and pound. Just a pretty much a masterful performance. He's barely had any slip-ups in his UFC career this far. And I'm pretty sure McGregor predicted this fight perfect. I think he said he'll go down in 2 or something like that. And he beat him in round 2 in 1 minute and 54 seconds in. It's a great performance from him. He then gets a title shot off of a Dennis Siver win, because Siver must have been relatively highly ranked at the time. I'm not too sure though. He was supposed to fight Jose Aldo for the first time. They went on the whole worldwide media tour for it. And then Aldo hurts his rib, I think. Maybe breaks his rib. Even though the doctor cleared him, apparently. I think that's what McGregor said during that whole fight week area. Chad Mendes, with the same record as McGregor at the time, 17-2, steps in on short notice. Chad Mendes is a bit of a marauder at this point, knocking out everyone, I think. Destroying everyone. He then gets the shot to fight McGregor. I think he might have just been beaten by Aldo before. Yeah, McGregor comes out there, breaks him down in the friggin' lead up, just like he usually does, and then manages to TKO him right at the end of round 2. Again, another masterful performance. You can't really go wrong with McGregor's performances. Then at the end of the year 2015, Aldo's back. Aldo versus McGregor. Just the whole breakdown of Aldo just completely breaks him down, right? Then he gets to unify the belts. He does so, a 25-1 Aldo, 10 years undefeated in championship fights, right? Just this incredible legacy from Aldo, and he got erased pretty much in 13 seconds. That left hand or right hand, I think it was the left hand, just knocks him out. McGregor gets hit on the way in though by Aldo, kind of stumbles a little bit, but no, it's Aldo's out cold, hammer fists, that's it. McGregor's the champion at 19-2 record, which is great, one of the greatest title wins in UFC history. I think still the fastest in UFC history, so that's just pretty nutty. Crazy for McGregor, man. His star power just rose even more. He then has a fight scheduled against Rafael dos Anjos. Dos Anjos pulls out due to having a broken foot. UFC 196, McGregor versus Diaz. It becomes instead, where Nate Diaz actually beats McGregor by rear naked choke in round 2, because I think McGregor just spent way too much time kind of like trying to get Diaz out of there to make a statement. He ends up gassing and then gets choked. August the same year. The McGregor's activity was insane, bro. Really, really insane. He comes back to beat Nate Diaz by 5-round majority decision. Again, 2 incredible build-ups. Like, Nate can only count to 5. So many iconic McGregor lines were hit during this. Him throwing water bottles at Nate's team. Just so iconic, man. So many iconic moments. Then after he beats Nate Diaz, he gets the shot to be the first simultaneous 2-weight class champion against Eddie Alvarez. At the time, another force. He'd just beaten Rafael dos Anjos by knockout in round 1 to claim the lightweight belt. And up until Gaethje beat Topuria, no one had ever beaten a lightweight champion. They'd always got it from like a vacant title shot and stuff like that. So that was like, that record was left like for 10 years. McGregor was the last guy to do it, but now it was Gaethje over Topuria. If I said Alvarez, again, just a systematic breakdown of the mind. Whenever McGregor fights you, he just gets in your head completely, makes you angry, makes you want to fight him emotional. And Eddie Alvarez said that. He said he fought emotional in the McGregor fight because McGregor pissed him off. One of his best strengths was just to talk and talk and talk. McGregor goes out there, barely gets touched by Alvarez, snipes him here, there, everywhere, lands some nasty like 5-piece combos. Eddie curls up on the ground, that's it, that's the fight over. So that's a really good win from McGregor. Still, Eddie Alvarez, the underground king, one of the greatest to do it outside the UFC, and inside to be fair. After this, McGregor kind of gets lost in himself. He goes off to fight Floyd Mayweather Jr. in boxing for like $100 million. This is where the fall-off begins. He loses to Floyd, crazy build-up, and you act 10. Some crazy moments from that build-up too, but McGregor loses in round 10. Of course, his cardio's not fantastic. Round 10 in boxing's for like the equivalent of going like maybe 5 rounds in the UFC, I'm not sure. So he just basically made bank off that and he just leaves for like a year. And when he comes back, he's definitely not as hungry anymore, right? To fight Khabib Nurmagomedov, like, you can't come back not hungry to fight Khabib. Khabib obviously just choked him out. Took him till round 4 to do so, though. Like, that's hella suspicious on Khabib's resume. Like, I've always said it, I think he's a little bit overrated. A lot of people will get mad at that, but I think he is. He's got like 3 elite wins. Half of his wins come from his own dad's shows. We put him up against, like 0-0 competitors when he was like 0-12, when he was like 12-0 inside his pro MMA. It's sketchy, man. He's probably like, I think his UFC career is what counts. So he's probably like 13-0 actually in pro MMA. If we're being real, maybe like 15-0 if we're counting some of the outside wins to be legit. But his dad knew what he was doing, setting him up to kind of pad his record a bit, honestly. Because we know how good Khabib is. He could have kept going. He would have probably had a fight with Charles Oliveira. I think Charles Oliveira would have won that fight. Again, that sounds like me just hating on Khabib. I like Khabib. I like the whole team. I have nothing wrong with them guys. He's then out of the game for 2 years. Returns in 2020 before COVID hits and fights Donald Cerrone. Where no beef in this fight, just like calm interaction. McGregor's trying to prove to himself that he's not done. Right? Comes back and just destroys Donald Cerrone. 40 seconds into round 1. You can't get better than that. Completely destroys Donald Cerrone. Then after that, the real fall off starts to begin, right? He gets booked against Dustin Poirier for their rematch. Multiple years in the making at this point. But, you know, McGregor's trash talk, like both of the Poirier 2 fights, like he's nice in the second fight, right? And he gets his ass knocked out. Then in the third one, he's back to beefing. You know, you can't really do anything about that third fight. He breaks his ankle, completely snaps it. It's crazy how McGregor's whole career has gone since his insane rise. He's still a star, right? But I feel like at 329, Paddy got a bigger pop everywhere they were. Like, people love McGregor for nostalgia reasons, but he's not the same fighter. And he'll never be, unless he fights Chandler. He was supposed to fight Chandler in 2024. Pulled out due to having a broken toe. Pereira ended up saving the card. Pereira vs. Prochaska 2. Pereira wins that, continues his own rise. Will we ever see McGregor fight again? I have no idea. I'm really not sure if he will. And if he does, just book the Michael Chandler fight, bro. It's time. McGregor beats Chandler. Retires on a win. Just that's a career right there. You can probably do that. I think Michael Chandler won't retire yet. I think he'll probably fight once more. Probably get his ass beat again. Then he'll fight McGregor. Then go off himself. Of course, McGregor's rise in the UFC was iconic. And to see him fall off like this is sad. That was a quick McGregor career recap. I appreciate all the support I've been getting. But yeah, that was the video. Take care, guys. Peace.